health and a little wealth and a lot of love.
The title of this episode is Should You Consider Bariatric Surgery? So guys, we're going to talk about, weight loss is so hot right now. We talked about Ozempic, a lot of weight loss specials. Oprah's weight loss special just dropped not that long ago. And so weight loss is really big in America because obesity is almost, what is it, a pandemic? Epidemic? What's the word?
I would say it's an epidemic. In the U.S., yeah.
Yeah, and like epidemic and pandemic, do we know the differences? I don't know.
Epi is more localized.
Okay.
Pan is...
There we go. See, that's why y'all are watching the show, not because my
just
dummy.
like COVID reached all corners of the earth. It's a pandemic.
Okay. So we are going to talk about the costs, the risks involved, and then maybe there's an alternative. You know, if folks are interested in exploring more extreme, right? I would say this is a more extreme way to get to the weight loss. I would say that, but I'll let you kind of cover that off on that.
Saying surgery is more extreme.
Yeah. Saying very, very much more
people
extreme.
perceive it that way, yeah. For sure.
If you guys have not caught our Ozempic face video, it's definitely trending on YouTube, which is really exciting for us. Check it out. In fact, we might drop it here. So, okay, cool. Our first segment is refactions. Refactions.
The CDC says weight loss surgeries are now part of a worldwide multi-billion-dollar medical tourism industry that is expected to grow substantially in the next 5 to 10 years. Our guests say that while the weight did come off, there were unexpected and devastating consequences. Watch.
My weight problems started in high school.
I've struggled with my weight for kind of all my life.
I got up to almost 300 pounds.
I tried a bunch of different things to lose it, and it was a constant battle.
My stepmom, Liz, had come back from surgery. She lost all the weight, and I saw that, and I'm like, I want to be thin again.
There's no way I could afford the options in the States. I'm a single mom with 2 kids.
I saw it as the magic bullet.
First thing that I can remember coming out of surgery, that I was in horrible, horrible pain, and all of a sudden I felt something wet on my stomach, and I looked down and I was bleeding from my stomach. I literally never thought I was going to get home to see my son and my mom ever again.
Let's react to that and fact check it. So it sounded like to me she went abroad. I don't know if that was clearly explained, to get this bariatric surgery. So.
Yeah, so this, Megyn Kelly was talking about how it's become kind of a tourism. You know, people will go to these other countries and they'll put them up in resorts or hotels, and they'll have the surgery, and then they'll get, you know, the 2-week stay at the hotel or at this resort will be included in the cost of their surgery, and then afterwards they'll send them back to the U.S. with very little post-op care and post-op instructions.
They'll fly on the plane without having the post-op care.
So it's, and I saw this in primary care for other surgical procedures, but bariatric surgery is becoming more popular abroad, and people are turning to it because it's very expensive here if insurance doesn't cover it. And so some people get desperate and they travel down to Mexico, and they don't really have the opportunity to vet out a surgeon down there, and they end up getting the procedure, and they don't really know what they're getting themselves into, and then they don't know what they're supposed to do after the procedure. I think they're under the thought process that they're going to be given all of these post-op instructions, and then they get back to the U.S. and surgeons in the U.S. are afraid to see them or afraid to touch them because they don't really know what was done, and there could be complications if they go back in and repeat the surgery. So there are a lot of implications there. It's dangerous, and you have no follow-up.
Yeah, and the thing is, you said you have experience in this, so it may not relate to the bariatric surgery, but what surgery have you seen, obviously not disclosing names, that you was like, wow, this is done internationally, it was come over here, and just, it was a nightmare?
I think plastic surgery is the big one. All sorts of different types of plastic surgery can be done abroad because it's much cheaper, much more affordable.
And you've seen that firsthand, right?
Mm-hmm. And the complications of it.
Wow. So I guess your overall decision on that is what? Don't do it. Don't go international for surgery. You may pay less now, but you pay way more later.
And not just saying international, because there are surgeons in other countries that are reputable surgeons. I'm just saying, don't follow one of these gimmicks. Do your research. Don't follow one of these gimmicks to go somewhere specifically because it's a lot cheaper and you're being sold kind of a bill of goods that you're going to have this wonderful experience and wonderful surgery, and it's going to be more like a vacation for you, when you really need to go into it knowing what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, absolutely. When she said something was placed on her stomach, like I didn't watch the whole video.
She said she woke up and she felt wet, just wetness on her stomach, and she looked down and she was just bleeding everywhere. She just had blood everywhere.
Oh, jeez. Well, thankfully she looked okay in the interview, so hopefully.
Well, she was saying all three of these people lost the weight, but at what cost?
Right.
With a little health and a little wealth and a lot of love, that's the life that we live. Suits and scrubs.